Hey, how's it going? Today I'd like to make a video about how to make funk 4 years late. And it's mostly because I've been trying to find tutorials on YouTube. It's not so easy considering a lot of people like to keep things to themselves. That way, that many people don't jump into the industry and make it too saturated, which I understand. But here, I'm going to make you a no bullshit guide on how to create funk or just a form of funk, because there are literally so many different forms of funk that if you want to make a certain form of funk, you have to go and really do a little bit of research in order to figure out which one suits you best. So today I'm just making, I guess, is like kind of like a harder 4x4 or 4 on the floor funk. If you don't know what 4 on the floor is, I suggest you go look that up, because it's something that you're really going to need to know about music, is the different rhythms and beat patterns. And 4 on the floor is one of the pretty common ones. And today I'm going to show you different cowbell patterns as well, and how to make different sounds and how to really make that good funk sound. So let's start out with the cowbells. So far I got one cowbell that is a little bit more fast paced that you can hear here. And I got this cowbell that's a little more like on par with the beat, or a little like offbeat kind of. So those are your two options when it comes to creating two very different sounds in a song. This is my acapella that I have chosen. And there's a reason why you can't really hear it, because that's a kind of a signature sound for vocals when it comes to funk. You barely want to hear it. It wants to be you want it to be so distorted that it's almost barely noticeable in the song. You can just kind of like hone in on it in the undertones. Other than that, I got a little bit of a kick pattern to bring the song in, very hollow. And then I have this song, or this kick over here. So then we have this one right here, voice crack, this bass right here. Let's see, what is this? Clap. Hat. This is another hat for some reason. I just added that on accident, forgot about it. Another clap, but it's like, off. We have our kick. So those are pretty much the core things you're going to need for making funk, or just a basic song. You can add whatever you want later on. I got like a riser here just for effect at the beginning of the song. And now we'll jump into making the different sounds. So for let's say the kick, I didn't really do anything. Kick is just a normal kick. Riser is a normal riser. Clap, I went ahead and did a few things too. I added a couple EQs to drown out the lows, and then what is it? Distortion just for the sake of it, just to give it that little bit of a, I don't even know what you want to call it. Just sounds really shitty. So it's not the greatest. And let's go into the cowbell, because cowbell is probably one of the most important things here. So we're going to go into the cowbell, and for that, again, I've drowned out a lot of the low and some of the high ends as well, just so you don't have those, like, I don't know, conflicting sounds, as you can say, with other stuff. Also put some distortion on that, spread it out a little bit. Actually, I didn't spread it. It's very narrow, so you can't even really tell. Put some reverb on it, Kickstarter, because I can't be bothered doing all that side chaining. That is just, if it's 4 on the floor, you just get Kickstarter. It's a $5 plugin. Don't worry about side chaining at that point. You can learn how to side chain. It's good to learn, but it's, you can do that later. But then that gives it that like signature sound, honestly. So it's just a few plugins, distortion, 2 EQs, spreader, reverb, kickstart. By the way, if you're new to mixing or adding plugins to your sounds, the way I have the plugins arranged is pretty important. I didn't know this at first, but what order you put your plugins actually does matter. So what I always tend to do is try to at least have the EQs first, the reverb as one of the last things, and then kickstarting or sidechaining or anything like that as the very last thing, because you don't want to have the spreader after the reverb, because you're going to be spreading the reverb. You don't want to have the reverb after the kickstart, because you're going to be reverbing the sidechaining. You don't want to have the distortion after the spreader, because you're going to be distorting the spreading. The spreading can spread the distortion. So just little heads up for people out there who are new to mixing and stuff like that. The bass, I just have an EQ on it to drown out a lot of the highs, just so we can have a lot of the bass and sub. Threw some distortion on that and a sidechain as well. Let's go over here. I don't think I have anything on that. What is this? I think this is the clap. Yes. So distortion on that, EQ to drown out the lows. You know the drill. Same thing with a lot of stuff. If you have something in the high range, try to drown out the lows. If you have something in the low range, drown out the highs. But other than that, you can kind of tell what plugins I'm using. I'm using GMS. I got like a stock clap from one of my sounds. And another pro tip for all of you out there who use FL Studio, please subscribe to FL Cloud. This is not an ad. This is not like, I'm not getting paid to say this, but I am wanting to say this because FL Cloud has really helped me out when I'm needing like just a random sound or a one shot or something. And for those of you out there who are skeptical to use third-party websites, this is what I recommend. It's only like, I don't know, $10 or $12 a month or something. It's basically the same thing as a Netflix or Hulu or Disney Plus subscription. It doesn't matter, to me at least, because the benefit that I get from this outweighs the cost. So yeah, I do recommend downloading FL Cloud because you can literally type in whatever you want. If you're looking for phonk, just go to the packs, and you literally have so many different kinds of phonk to pick through. And like I said, the reason why you need to pick what kind of song or phonk song you want to make is because there are literally so many different kinds of phonk. And as you can see, it's sad phonk, Mexican phonk, drift phonk, Brazilian phonk, so on and so on. So before you start making phonk, figure out what kind of genre or subgenre you're most interested in. That way, you're not sitting there wondering what kind of sounds you need to make in order to make the best song. So we put it all together. Go ahead and just show you guys the, what we came out with as soon as I put my sounds back on. So there you have it, guys. If you want to make a phonk song, it's as easy as that. And there's no plugging drum kits or anything like that. The only thing I'm going to plug here is FL Studio because I highly recommend it for you guys since I use it quite a bit myself as an amateur producer or as a bedroom producer. Anyways, have a nice day, guys. Have fun making music.